Hey everybody, welcome back to MTG Killer Bees. Today is the Throne of Eldraine release on Magic the Gathering Arena. And of course, it is a little more than 1 day from the paper pre-release, which starts tomorrow at midnight. And of course, a full week before the paper actual release. But, music's a little loud. I'm going to turn that down. Hopefully that's better. They did a special pre-order bonus again. I think it was $50 for 50 packs, plus you got the Garrick. And we're gonna do a digital box opening. 50 Eldraine boosters. First, I want to see if this works like it did for previous sets. So I'm gonna guess it's play Eldraine. Yes, it does. So if you play Arena, type in play Eldraine. You get 3 booster packs. Alright. So let's get into it. Okay, Tournament Grounds. It's interesting, I got a wild card already. Ooh, Giant Killer. Okay. Actually, I like that one kind of a lot because it's got the destroy on the adventure, and then you can play the tappy guy for 1 later on. This is interesting. They now have an open 10. Why don't we give that a whirl? Let's see how that goes. Interesting. So they show you the rares and mythics you're getting. Alright. That's gonna work a little bit better, maybe. Okay, Fervent Champion. Human Knight, 1/1 first strike haste for 1 red. Whenever he attacks another target attacking knight you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion costs 3 less. Okay. So, equip on the Knight's Tribal is probably going to be a thing. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. Okay, so it could cost as little as 1 blue. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Okay, mill yourself for 4. Tap to choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Okay. It could have uses. I don't think it's going to be great for limited, but okay. Clackbridge Troll. Makes goats, 0/1 goats. 8/8 trample haste for 5. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/0/1 white goat creature tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If a player does, tap Clackbridge Troll, you gain 3 life and you draw a card. Wow, so that's an 8/8 trample haste for 5 that has the quote-unquote downside of if they don't want to be hit with it, they make you gain 3 life and draw a card. That's pretty sweet. I like that a lot. Worthy Knight. 2/2 Human Knight for 2. Whenever you cast a Knight spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Alright. So, more fodder for Knight Tribal. And another Human Knight. 3/3 for 3. When a claimed contender enters the battlefield, if you control another Knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a Knight, Aura, Equipment, or Legendary Artifact creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. And Piper of the Swarm, obviously the Pied Piper. 1/3 for 2. Rats you control have Menace. Pay 2 and tap. Create a 1/1 black rat. Pay 4 and tap. Sacrifice 3 rats. Gain control of target creature. Okay. You could build around that. It'd be pretty sweet, I think. Especially in non-arena, where you could combine it with other things. But that might have a home in Brawl as well. So, this is actually one of the cards I'm most excited about in this whole set. I think this thing is amazing. I think if you see it in limited, it's going to be an instant take. So, the Great Henge. Oh, if you don't know, there is one legendary artifact like this for each color, and each one costs quite a bit, but they all have a ability that lowers their cost. So, the Great Henge is 2 green and 7, and this spell costs X less, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So if you have a 7/7 or a 7 power creature, it doesn't matter if it's 7/7. This costs 2 green and so on. You can tap this for 2 green and you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. So this thing is just freaking great all around. I mean, if you have to cast it for 9, it's great. And if you have any creature on the board, it gets even better. So, and then Wildborn Preserver, Elf Archer, 2/2 for 2, Flash and Reach. Okay, so you can flash this guy in. Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. That's weird. Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. Okay, so I guess the flash is just to surprise somebody with a reach creature? Because the flash doesn't... it seems to be out of place there a little bit. Not that it's bad, it's just weird. Okay, well, since we have 42 packs, I'm going to open 2 single packs. And then we can start with the 10. Okay. I just want to go through these quick. Equipment. When there's a battlefield, attach a target non-human creature you control. Okay, it attaches automatically. Your creature gets +2/+1. Okay, so if you have non-humans, you're giving them +2/+1 for 1 green. The equip is way overcosted, so you'd probably never use that. A Return of the Wild Speaker. A green and 4 for an instant. Choose 1. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 till end of turn. Okay. Meh. Meh. If you got a big creature, if you got that 8/8 dude we were just looking at, that's pretty decent. Alright. Next pack. Corridor Monitor. Untap target artifact you control. Okay, that's pretty good actually for a common. I like that. Come on. One of the lands. Castle Garenbrig. Castle Garenbrig enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. Tap to add green, or pay 2 green and 2 to tap and add 6 green. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. So, meh. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. I like that. Alright, let's get on this 10 at a time. Kabam! Nice. Alright, well, let's go through this here. Alright, there's another one of the lands. Castle Lochthwain. Castle Lochthwain enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. Tap to add black, or pay 2 black, 1 and tap to draw a card, then you lose life equal number of cards in your hand. Boo. I'm not sure I like that so much. I guess if you're going to use it when you have no cards in your hand, just to draw a card. Is it supposed to look like Aladdin's lamp? Does anybody else see that on there? That floaty castle, like this is the stem, dang it, of the lamp. Oh, anyway, I think that one's not as good as the green one. Okay, Torbrand, Thrain of Redfall. 3 red and 1 for a 2/4 legendary dwarf noble. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, deals that much damage plus 2. Okay. That's pretty decent, actually. So he's effectively a 4/4. And he makes all your other red stuff do 2 more damage. That's pretty good. I like that. And this is one of the nobles. There's a noble for each color. Ventress Gargoyle, 5/4 flying for 2. Okay, what's the drawback? When Ventress Gargoyle can't attack unless defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. Ventress Gargoyle can't block unless you have 4 or more cards in hand. Tap, each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. Okay, that's weird, but I could see it working. Another land, so we're up to 3 out of the 5. Castle Embereth. Castle Embereth enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain, so they all do that. They come in tapped unless you control a basic land of the appropriate color, or I guess it doesn't have to be basic, it could be a shock land. Anyway, tap for a red or pay 2 red and tap. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Ah, that's underwhelming. Alright, Feasting Troll King. 4 green and 2 for a 7/6 Vigilance Trample. When he enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, create 3 food tokens. And foods, you can see at the left there, are a big part of this set. They are an artifact that says pay 2, tap, and sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. Or you can sacrifice 3 food tokens, return Feasting Troll from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay, so you play this guy, he's got Vigilance Trample, and he makes 3 foods. Your opponent murders him. You can then sacrifice those 3 foods he created to bring him back. Not bad. Costing 4 green, that's pretty heavy, but I think it's still pretty good. I like it. And here's one of the other legendary artifacts, the Magic Mirror. So this one is 3 blue and 6. This costs 1 less to cast. This is my favorite one of them, by the way. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. So, card draw, no maximum hand size. That's great, and I think this could have a decent place in a new version of the Izzet Phoenix deck. And of course, Garruk, Cursed Huntsman. Green, black, and 4. You pay 0 to create 2 black. Create 2 black and green wolf creature tokens with. When this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control have +3/+3 and trample. So he's pretty good. I wonder if there's going to be some decks built around him specifically, or if he's just going to be an enabler to black-green creature decks. Maybe, darn, what is that? What is the Golgari mechanic? I can't remember. But it deals with the graveyard and creatures and whatnot. Okay, Gilded Goose. 0/2 flying for 1 green. When it enters the battlefield, create a food. Pay green and 1 and tap to create a food, and sacrifice food to add 1 mana of any color. Okay. So you get an basically you're gonna get a food right away. It's okay. For 1 green, it's okay. Alright. Next turn. Kabam! And we got Wicked Wolf. 2 green and 2. When Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. Or you can sacrifice a food and put a 1/1 counter on Wicked Wolf. It gains indestructible until end of turn, and tap it. Okay. Yeah, it's... okay. The 1/1 counter's good. That's arguably better than gaining 3 life off the food, unless you really need 3 life, and then you're probably going to be boned anyway. So, giving him a counter and giving him indestructible. Okay, not bad, not bad. Folio of Fancies. Looks like a wizard spellbook from D&D, except with wings. A blue and 1. Players have no maximum hand size, so symmetrical. X, X, and tap. Each player draws X cards. Blue and 2, tap. Each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard. Okay, you pay 3, and your opponent mills himself for however many they have in their hand. Okay. That's pretty good. For 2, I'll take it. Witch's Vengeance. 2 black and 1. Creatures of the creature type of your choice get -3/-3 until end of turn. Ooh, okay. Anti-tribal card. Anti-knight card, basically. Alright, Castle Ventress. Is this the 4th one of these we've gotten? Of course, enters the battlefield, unless you control an island. Tap to add a blue. 2 blue and 2 to tap to scry 2. I mean, how good do you guys consider scrying? I think it's decent. And this is definitely something to run in a blue deck, because why not? I mean, worst case scenario, it's a land that's dead for 1 turn, which isn't great, but best case scenario, comes into play untapped, and then you can scry immediately. Alright, Sundering Stroke, red and 6. It deals 7 damage, divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. If at least 7 red mana was spent to cast this spell, so instead of generic, if you spend all red, instead Sundering Stroke deals 7 damage to each of those permanents and or players. Okay, so the cost on this is a little high. I think it would have been better if all of those numbers were bumped down to 5. Then it might be too powerful. But I think it's good. So if you don't have all the red, you can just deal 7 divided out. Or if you do have 7 red, bam, you're doing 7 to 3 different things. I like that. Bone Crusher Giant. This is only our 2nd adventure card. I suppose we probably got some comments, but I haven't been looking at those. Anyway, Bone Crusher Giant. The creature side is a red and 2 for a 4/3. When he becomes the target of a spell, Bone Crusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. Okay, so he punishes people for targeting him, and he has an instant adventure called Stomp, which is a red and 1. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. Okay. That's not bad. I like that. That's an effect that would be fun to turn on somebody when they're gonna play a fog effect. Oh, you attacked me with everything? I'm gonna fog. Oh, no, you're not. You're taking it all plus 2 extra. Alright, Once Upon a Time, a green and 1 for an instant. If the spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Okay, so it's basically a ley line. If it's in your opening hand, or if for some reason it's the first thing you've cast in a later turn, I don't know how often that would happen, but look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So, it's an instant ley line that lets you look through the top and grab a card. That's good. I like that. Oko, Thief of Crowds. Blue, green, and 1. +2 to create a food. +1. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk. Okay. With base power and toughness 3/3. -5. Exchange control of target artifact or creature you control, and target creature and opponent controls with power 3 or less. Oh, I didn't see that second ability. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk. That doesn't end at end of turn. That's just permanent. Okay. Interesting. Alright. We looked at that one, and we looked at that one. Alright, two more pulls to go. 2 more pulls of 10 packs, so bam! Okay, we got the White Noble, the worst one. Pay 3 white for a 3/3 vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, gain 1 life. Okay, it's fine. It's not great. And white keeps getting shit on. Whatever. Black and 1 artifact, the Wishclaw Talisman. When it enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Pay 1 and tap. Remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman. Search your library for a card. Put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. An opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay. So if you don't have a way to blink it or something, it's basically 3 tutors, but your opponent gets to do 1 of them. So I guess for a standard legal tutor, basically for 3 mana, go tutor something, and then your opponent can tutor something on their next turn, and then the turn after that you can tutor an additional thing. So essentially, if it's not destroyed or anything, for 4 mana you get to tutor 2 things, and your opponent gets to tutor 1. So I'd take that deal. Why not? Looked at that. And Sorcerous Spyglass was reprinted. So if you don't know, this is pay 2 for an artifact. As it enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Alright, and I think this is the last one. So, should have all 5 now. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control planes. Tap for white. Pay 2 white and 2 and tap and create a 1/1 white human creature token. Okay, that one I like. Creating a body on a land is a good ability. And Gadwick the Wizard. 3 blue and X for a 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, draw X cards. Okay. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Okay. That's really good. I like that a lot. That's even if you only have 3 blue, like if you're that's a hard one. I would say if you only have 3 blue and you have a land in your hand, you'd be better off waiting a turn so you can get the extra value. But if you have 3 blue and no cards in your hand, you might as well cast them and skip the drawing cards, but then you get to tap stuff whenever you cast another blue spell, so that's good. And this one is weird. Ironcrag Feat. It costs 3 red and 1, and then you get to add 7 red to your mana pool, and you can cast only 1 more spell this turn. So you're gaining 3 mana on that deal, but you can only use it on 1 spell, so you have to have something that costs 7. I guess you can combine this with that one we just saw before, where if you pay 7 red, it deals 7 to 3 different targets. It's a decent combo. And Ironcrag Pyromancer. Red and 2 for a 0/4 whenever you draw your second card each turn. Ironcrag Pyromancer deals 3 damage to any target. Okay, that's interesting, when you draw your second card each turn. So, it's planning on you having card draw. So, pair that up with Gadwick, I guess. That'd be pretty good. Alright. And last pack of 10. Here we go. Bam! We saw that already. Mirror Maid. Enchantment. For 2 blue and 1, you may have Mirror Maid enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. Alright, good. I'll take that. Another Spyglass. Claimed Contender. Did we look at it? No, I don't think we did. White and 2 for a 3/3 human knight. When he enters, that might be a she, I don't know. When a claimed contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight, aura, equipment, or legendary artifact. Oh yeah, we did look at this one. Okay, so it's a creature that lets you dig through the top 5. It's good. And Charming Prince. He doesn't look charming. Look at that face. He looks creepy. White and 1 for a 2/2 when he enters for a human. Let me start again. White and 1 for a 2/2 human noble. When Charming Prince enters the battlefield, choose 1. Either scry 2, gain 3 life, or exile another target creature you own. Return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So, those are some good abilities. The 3 life is probably the worst out of there. I think you would always want to do the scry or blinking a guy, but for 2, the 2/2 dude attached to that is pretty good. I looked at that already. Harmonious Archon. Oh, this is another one I really like. I think this is going to be interesting. So, it is a creature Archon for 2 white and 4 for a 4/5 flying. When non-Archon creatures have base power and toughness 3/3. And that's symmetrical, so all your opponent's non-Archons have base power 3/3 as well. So if they have that badass 8/8 dude, nope, he's a 3/3 now. Screw him. And then, whenever Harmonious Archon enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. So you get 2 1/1 whites that immediately become 3/3s. That would be a good guy to blink with this guy. Then you'd have 4 3/3 dudes. So that'd be nice. We've already looked at the Great Henge, but still like it. It's nice. Now I got 2 of them. And Sundering Stroke. That's the 7 mana thing. So, alright. So, that was our digital box opening. And right now, if you guys play Arena, there is a special event going on. Play any deck standard. So, if you go in here, you can build any standard deck you want from the entire card pool, even if you don't have the cards in your collection. So you can test out any build you want, play up to 12 games, I believe. So let's see. Yeah, 1 entry per player. It doesn't say in here, but I believe you can only play 12 games. So be aware of that. But this is going to lead to next week's contest. So next week, starting on October 5th, right here, you can then play with any of these standard decks you built, and if you win 12 matches before you lose 2, you'll win 1 copy of every standard legal card on Arena. So it's free entry. There's no reason not to do it. If you play Arena, go get brewing right now. And I will probably see you guys soon for some sealed Eldraine. So, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Those are some killer bees.